morning, students. This is Mr. Murray. I'm here with Mr. Pumo,
Good morning, everyone.
and we are here to introduce you to the habits of mind. So give me a moment while I share my screen. So, what are the habits of mind? Well, these are the things we're going to learn today. We are going to learn to understand why the habits of mind are important to be successful, not only in middle school, but also in life. We're going to listen to a brief explanation about them. We're going to identify one habit that we feel really comfortable with, and we're going to find one habit that we struggle with by reflecting on our personal use of those habits. And then finally, we're going to think interdependently throughout the week by completing a project across all of our core area classes. So, why are we talking about the habits of mind? The most important thing that you learn how to do in school is solve problems. And the habits of mind are very simply 16 skills that successful people use when they're encountering problems in school, at work, and in their relationships. And by learning each of these skills, you become a better problem solver and you're going to better be able to navigate your life. I'm going to tell us a little bit more about the why here, but really the habits of mind serve as a toolbox. They are tools that you can reach into depending on the problem that you're solving. As you practice each of these ways of thinking, they're going to become habits and you're going to be more successful. And once you become really skilled in each of the habits of mind, you're going to be more flexible. You're going to be able to learn new things every day, and you're going to be able to act smart or behave intelligently when you're facing new problems. Go ahead, Mr. Pumo.
So, what are the habits of mind? And the habits of mind are 16 behaviors or ways of thinking that successful people typically engage. And usually, we use more than one habit of mind at any given time when we're confronted with a problem. What you have in your counseling Google Classroom is here is a list of the 16 habits of mind and a brief description about the habits of mind and how they can manifest themselves in your life. What we're going to do now is we're going to watch a brief video going into further detail on each of the 16 habits of mind.
So give me a moment while I reshare a different screen. And here we go.
In the classroom, they represent what we all look for in our students, and they provide a common language and vision of behaviors we would like our students to model in the classroom. In addition, not only are there 16 habits beneficial for students, they also serve as an effective model for teachers to display. The first habit of mine is persisting. Persisting is the ability to push through. In the classroom, when you set a goal for yourself to finish an assignment, project, or activity, and keep going until the goal is met without giving up, that's persisting. Think about Tom Brady, the quarterback for the New England Patriots. If he did not persist day in and day out on the practice field, do you think he would have 6 Super Bowl rings? I don't think so. Managing impulsivity. This is when one remains calm when stressed or challenged. Many times throughout the day, we come across situations that can make us stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed. By taking time to think things through and not overreact allows one to think with a clear mind. What if an artist did not manage their impulsivity when painting a piece of art? Do you think the painting will be successful? Probably not. An artist needs to remain calm, focused, and patient. The next habit of mine, listening with understanding and empathy, is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. One of the most important attributes of life is the ability to actually listen. Put forth the energy to recognize, understand, and see things from another perspective. When in a conversation, hold your thoughts until the person is done speaking, and you'll gain clarity. Thinking flexibly is being able to think outside the box. Finding another way to solve a problem, use a different solution, or convey your ideas through a different approach. An example would be solving a math problem. There's not just one way to solve it. Instead, invite students to show their ways. In other words, show their ability to think flexibly. Metacognition, or thinking about your thinking, is understanding yourself in relation to feelings, strategies, thoughts, and the impact of your effect on others. Many times in the classroom, students demonstrate metacognition through journaling, organizing, and giving their thoughts pertaining to their learning. Think about when you study for a test. Is your way the same way everyone else's? And everyone else does it? More than likely not. Next habit, striving for accuracy. Striving for accuracy is a critical part of being successful in completing projects, essays, and assignments. It's making sure all your work is perfect. Although it is hard to be perfect, we should always strive for accuracy by checking things twice, 3, 4, even 5 times before submitting. How do you think most NBA players are so consistent with making their foul shots? They strive for accuracy. Shot after shot after shot, you get it. Next habit, question posing problems is the act of figuring out the what and how do I know something. When teachers ask the right questions in the classroom, it allows for missing pieces to be filled in. As for students, when they ask questions and pose problems, they are leading their thinking toward a desire for deeper understanding. And always remember, there are no dumb questions. The next habit, applying past knowledge to new situations, is using prior learning to assist in understanding other concepts or ideas. Think about it. In order to understand how to write an essay, a student must have knowledge of how and what a paragraph looks like. The more we build on our prior learning, the better we will comprehend. The next habit of mine, thinking and communicating with clarity and precision, is the ability to be clear and concise with conveying your ideas. This is done in speaking and in writing. By always being mindful of taking your time and pronouncing your words at a pace that gets your point across, that's clarity and precision. Within writing, taking your time proofreading is key to making sure what you want to convey is clear. Gathering data through all senses is the ability to observe and connect information to the 5 senses: taste, touch, hearing, smell, and sight. As a teacher, recognizing how your students learn best is important. Everyone is different and learns in different ways. So be mindful of how the senses can work for you and your students within your instruction. Creating, imagining, and innovating is the ability to develop something new and creative. By infusing this habit into something within the learning environment, or even outside of school, you are supporting your students to be original and unique in their construction of ideas, learning avenues, and thinking. If it wasn't for some of the greatest inventors in the world, like Ben Franklin, Alexander Graham Bell, and others, life would not be what it is today. Responding with wonderment and awe is an important piece for inspiring students within the classroom. If we want students to be excited about learning, we need to display that excitement. As teachers, when we model this habit, the more inclined our students will be in finding the same excitement in learning. The next habit of mine, taking responsible risk, is important in all walks of life. Risks need to be nurtured and grown from an early age within the educational setting. By offering students opportunities to take risks that are safe and in a comfortable environment brings forth a culture where failure is accepted. And always focus on ways to learn from failure and to not let it stop you. That leads to success. Finding humor brings forth the feeling and visual of lightening up the mood, something we always need at points in our lives. Being able to laugh at yourself and at appropriate times in the classroom serves as a wonderful outlet for stress and anxiety. And it's healthy for us. So you know what? Go ahead, laugh a little. Thinking interdependently. This is the ability to work with others. Often this takes the form of listening to one another, asking questions, and successfully completing a goal. As teachers, the more we work on these skills in the classroom, the more inclined students will be in transferring this habit into real-life situations and in the working environment beyond high school. And the last habit of mine, remaining open to continuous learning. This habit is what keeps us as humans interested and focused on wanting to learn more. Modeling this habit in class by offering students opportunities to want to learn from others is important. This is a habit that should be reinforced daily. For more information with the Habits of Mind, please feel free to reach out on Twitter at Habits of Mind Inc., at LinkedIn, at Facebook, at Dan Barath, or email me at danbarath34@gmail with any questions, ideas, or unique strategies on how you can use the habits in the classroom. And always check out the Institute for a Habits of Mind website for resources, blogs, books, and support with the Habits of Mind.
So we're going to go back to my slideshow. Give me a moment. Go ahead, Mr. Pumo.
So today actually starts the kickoff for our Habit of Mind launch for the entire district. So everyone in the district is going to be learning about habits of mind and working around the 16 habits of mind this week. What we're going to do at the middle school is we've created a week-long project where you're going to be working in your core subjects to think interdependently. So in math, you're going to be measuring a planter pot to determine the volume of the planter and how much dirt will be needed. In social studies, you're going to learn about the economics of purchasing the soil related to school business law. In science, we're going to talk about how seeds grow, and then we're actually going to plant the seeds. And then in English, we're going to do a reflection activity on how you have grown as a learner this year. All week long, Ms. Coughlin and Ms. Loveliner will be teaching you self-reflection skills.
And speaking of self-reflection, the last thing we're going to ask each of you to do today, right after we finish this video, is to go back into your Google Classroom and reread the descriptions of each of those 16 habits of mind. The video kind of went into detail on them, and if you remember the video, that's great. And I want you to think about these two questions. First, which habit do you think you already do well and often? And what habit do you know you struggle with and you think you want to get better at? And just write a little note to yourself. You can do this on a new Google Doc in your Google Classroom. You can do it on a piece of paper. This is for your personal reflection. But take 5 minutes to think about what you do well and what you know you struggle with so you get ready to learn the habits of mind this week. And that's all, folks. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.